Welcome to the next training of SAP controlling module. Today we'll be continuing with the reports as a part 2. In the last training we covered various reports on the various submodules of controlling, that is the cost element accounting, cost center accounting, then activity types and all. Today we'll be covering the reports on profit center accounting and internal orders. So moving on to the first part of today's training is profit center accounting. So profit center accounting reports, as on your screen, there are around 5 reports which we will be going up through with: profit center accounting, profit center wise account balances report, then financial statement on the basis of profit center receivables report, profit center payables, and the profit center master data report. So let's take up each of these reports one by one within the SAP system. Moving on to the SAP screen, now let's log into the SAP system on the first part. So let's log into the SAP system. So as we are logging into the system, now moving on to the first report for the day is profit center wise account balance. The transaction code for that is S_PL0_86000031/30. These are two different reports, 31 and 30, and we'll be looking up how these two reports reflects to you, how it works in the SAP system. So executing the transaction, as you can see, we have taken the transaction over here, the report S_PL0_86000031, enter. Now it's take you to the second screen, as you can see, as I executed the report. In this you need to fill the parameters. In most of the cases normally we used to run the report on the company code basis at number of years back or a decade back, but now with new requirements, new demands in place, now SAP has provided you a lot of different options to execute the reports, to have your balances, to have your financial statements on the basis of business area wise, on the basis of profit center, on the basis of cost centers, and a lot of other options. As you can see, you can have your report or your account balance or the GL balances on the basis of business area or functional area or cost centers or profit center, and even if you have different currencies, you can have balances as per currencies wise as well. So a lot of different options. Even you can go for segment report as well. So these are different options. Now moving on to run this report, first of all you need to select the currency type. So the currency type will be, if you see the list of options in this, F4 on the keyboard, it shows you the list of options. Normal cases we usually takes the company code currency as default for currency type. And now the second thing you need to decide is whether you want to have the report as per the company code. So you need to take the company code over here, and then you can have the options whether you want to see the account balance for a limited options, or you want to have the report for a business area wise balance of GL balances, or you want profit centers to be taken. Suppose I take the profit center. If I want to know the list of different profit centers, I can click onto the F4 key on the keyboard and enter. It will give you the list of different keyboards. So the controlling area is 1000. Respectively you have to input your controlling area, entered, and you can see now over here the different profit centers are there: unit 1, unit 2, unit 3. In unit 1 these are the different products being manufactured, and each of these product has been given the name of a profit center. So this is the different profit center which you can take up, and we can assign that particular profit center over here from 1105 to 1190. And suppose I want to see for the unit 1, so I took the profit center of unit 1 from and 2 for which you want to see the balances. Now moving down, page down, you need to assign the few more things over here in the report selections. One is the ledger. So in this you need to select the leading ledger. As you click onto the F4 key, you need to select this OL, that is the leading ledger for the company code. You need to select the fiscal year for which fiscal year you want to see the balances for, and then the period for which period you want the account balances to be reflected. So suppose I take the period over here as 01. So these are the certain options which you need to select in the report. You need to first take up the currency type, then the company code, then you have to assign the profit center for which you want to see the GL balances or the account balances, and then going down you need to assign the ledger, fiscal year, and then the period. Once you have assigned these all options, now we can go and we can execute the report. So once I execute the report, now as you can see the data has been selected and the processing is going on the footnote. So this is the report. As on your screen you can see these are the different balances for the fiscal year 2014, the debit and the credit. The periods have been reflected to you on the screen, and even if you want to see the balances, you can select on any of the period. You can select any of the period over here, and then you can go and you can select on the account number. It will break those balances of debit and credit as per the different account numbers, or you can see the GL numbers. Or even if you want to break up in the profit center wise, you can select the period and you can click onto the profit center. So it will further, you can see the profit center eye drop has been break up in this way. Similarly, you can go back and you can see the different balances being reflected to you for the period, and you can see now over here 2014 period is 1, INR is the currency, and you can see these are the different profit center. 1105 for eye drop, 1110 for capsules. These are the debit balances, these are the credit balances, and both are is equal to each other. That's why there is no closing balance as of over here. But in case there would have been any closing balances, those would have been reflected over here. So this is one of the way out how you can execute the report. Even if you want, you can select this profit center over here and you can click onto the account number. So this will reflect you that the iDrop profit center where this whole amount has been spent. So for that you can click onto the account number and it will give you the list of options that in the profit center 1105 these are the different transactions happened in different ledger accounts or the GL account numbers. So this is how the report for profit center works. Similarly, you need to execute this report, and once you execute you can have further details. You can break down those profit centers to respective profit centers. You can break down those profit centers to the different account numbers. So a lot of options have been given up in this particular report. Do you want to save the data first? No. So we are back to the same screen. So this is the report which we have executed is 31. Similarly, there is one more report that is 3030 S underscore PL 0 underscore 86000030. If I enter on this report now, this report will also give more or less the same picture to you. No differences to it. But these are two different reports, but SAP has provided to have it. So this is what the first report we have seen, S underscore PL 0 underscore 86000031 and 30. This report is basically used. Why? Because if you take it as a practical scenario, normally we need reports as per the company code. But in today's time now, the business is so much diversified and so huge that even one company has got multiple products or multiple number of plants or different areas, and they want the analysis of the various reports to be done for those respective plant or for product or for respective areas. And for that, those respective plant or the products are referred to as profit centers. And if you have got one particular plant as a profit center, you can have the account balances or you can have the trial balances for that particular part with help of profit center, because profit center works as a company code within a company code. So what it does is it gives you the breakup or the trial balances for that particular plant or for that particular product, or maybe if you create a profit center for a particular region or a branch, even that can also be done. So this works very handy when you need the account or the ledger balances for a particular plant or a product or a region, and it gives you valuable information. Just for an example, a sales is done for a company. So if you want to know that there are sales for a company, I want to bifurcate those sales on the basis of different products. How can I do that? So if you have the profit centers in place as per different product wise, you can bifurcate your sales into different product. Another scenario could be that if you have made a sales, which of the plants have contributed how much to that particular sale. How can we know that? So for that, you have the concept of profit center again. If you have created that particular plant as a profit center, or if in fact otherwise there could be that particular plant can be named up as a business area. In that case, you can select the business area in the report and you can get the trial balances or the bifurcation of sales for that particular plant, and how much those particular respective plants have contributed to the business revenue can be generated. So similarly, there are sales analysis being done, there are expenses analysis being done, there are different analysis has been done within the internal management team, and for that these reports work very handy. Now moving on to the next report is financial statement. Now again, a financial statement basically is prepared for a company. As said, nowadays days, even the management or the internal management wants the financial statements for a particular plant or maybe for a particular product or for a particular region or a branch as well. So in those cases, if you take those plant or the products or the regions as profit centers, you have the options of getting those financial statements for those particular plant or product or the regions balance sheets and income statements. So what it does is whenever we post any transaction in the system, it takes the profit center with it accordingly, depending upon to which particular product or plant that particular transaction belongs to, and on the basis of that the values are posted, and at the end of the fiscal year you can have the financial statements for that particular plant or a product as well, and you can analyze a lot of things out of those financial statements for those plant or the product. So let's see how this particular report works out. So the report is S underscore PL 0 underscore 86000028. So this is some of the reports which has been built up by SAP, developed by SAP in the recent years, depending upon the various demands from the corporate world, so as to analyze these different things. So entered Now you can see the screen over here, but you can see the description, financial statement, actual versus actual comparisons. So again we need to select the currency type over here. So the currency type will be company code currency. You can select the company code, and then you can take the profit center over here. So suppose I take the profit center from 1100 to 1190. Now moving down, these are certain things which you need to assign, and moving down you can see the report selections. There are certain parameters which you need to fill. These are tick marked, that means these are mandatory fields. So you need to select the reporting year. The reporting year is 2014. The period will be from 1 to 16, and then the comparison year, that will be 2015, or you can take 2013 as a comparison period, 1 to 16. So once you have taken all those things, you have to take care that you must have to take a financial statement version over here. So every company has got its own financial statement version. So you need to take these all things, and once you have taken up, you can click on to the execute. So executed the report now, as you can see over here on the screen. And once you have executed the report, now you can see the different balances being reflected to you. So this is the financial statement, and this you can see the balance sheet, the financial statement, profit and loss account below to that. So it shows you all the breakup for the company code. What is the balances for equities and liabilities? What is the assets for that particular company code? Even if I take it back to the same report, suppose no, and I take it for a single profit center. I just want to see for a particular product, so I executed it for a particular product 1105 and executed the report. So once I execute this report now, as you can see, it shows you the balance sheet, again the statements. So you can see the assets and liabilities within for this particular product is 36882430. And if you further assets of the same value, and if you go for the revenues and the expenses, you can see the revenues are over here in the range of 2.8 million, and the expenses are around 1 million as such. So this is how you can have a look of your financial statements for those reports for different product or for different plants, and you can analyze those reports. Even if you want, you can expand these parts, and you can further look after what are the different, in 3.6 million, what is the different assets you exist. And you can see now that the non-current asset is 500,000, then the current assets is of 3.6 millions. Further you can divide it to how many different current assets do you have, and it has inventories, trade receivables, banks, short-term loans and advances, so a lot of different things. So similarly you can go and you can look after to your revenue part as well in the statement of profit and loss, and you can see over here the revenue, and you can analyze your revenues as well. The revenue from operations, that is the normal operations of the business, and apart from that the other income. So each and everything will be reflected to you over here. Now this report which has been executed is at company code level, but it has been divided within the company code among different profit centers. Even if you want, you can select this and you can click onto the profit center, and you can see now over here that this is the profit center I drop, and this is the total profit which has been generated. So this is how, if you want to select, you can select this particular profit center, and you can click onto the account number, and it will show you the breakup of the account numbers as well. So a lot of options which you can explore out of this report, and it will give you more and more of the opportunities to understand this report over here. As you can see over here, this shows you the breakup, the expended part, the different ledger accounts, the different balances within the ledger account, has been reflected to you. Within inventories there are raw material, packaging, consumables, finished goods. Similarly, in tangible assets you got furniture, plant and machinery. So this comes up, these all values comes up from the financial statement version mapping, which has been done from the SAP FI site. And finally the values get picked up on the basis of profit center for each of the profit centers, divided accordingly on the basis of the different transactions. So this is how your financial statement report works out to be. So this is the second report which we have just covered up, the financial statement as per the profit center wise. Moving up to the next report is profit center receivables. Now in this, whatever the different receivables you are receiving from different customers, you can divide those on the basis of profit center. So it could be that from one particular customer you would be receiving on the behalf of different products. But if you want to see that from which product, what is the receivables amount, from which product or for which plant, what are the receivables, in that case this report helps you to give the receivables as per breakup as per the different profit centers. So you can have your breakups as per different products, what is the receivables as per different products, or what is the receivable as per different regions, or what is the receivables as per different plants, and accordingly you can have your reporting. So this gives you the, if you have this report as per receivable profit center, the management can have an eye that which of those particular products are contributing more to the generating the revenue for the business, and ultimately it has been contributing more and more to the sales or the turnover of the company. So let's see how this particular report works out to be, that is receivables on the basis of profit center. So the transaction on the report is S underscore AC0 underscore 520000887. So let's see how this report works out to be. As I took this report over here, enter. So you can see now receivables profit center. So you can assign your customer account number over here for which you want to see the receivables on the basis of profit center. So let's see the list of customer account. In this we need to take the assign the company code over here, enter. So these are the different company codes as you can see over here on the screen, and out of these we can take any of the company codes. Suppose I take it as ABC Globals, and then I can go and select all items. And now suppose I want to see the profit centers for a respective I want to see the customer balances for the whole company code. So we can execute it at the company code. I am not taking the profit center as of now. That means this report will be executed at the company code level. So you have both the options. Either you can take the profit center or you can execute the report at the company code level, and the things will be the reports will be displayed to you. So the total receivables as you can see on the screen is around 6.269 millions. And you can select this company code over here and you can click onto the profit center, and it will show you the breakup of these receivables as per different profit centers. As I clicked, you can see the profit center over here, and you can see the different profit centers. These are the receivables as per profit center. So the receivables for the common profit center is 5.3 million, but if you talk about the iDrop, it is 1.1738 millions. So suppose I want to see that in this particular common profit center the total receivables is 5.37 million. Now I want to see the breakup of the 5.37 million, from where there is different, from which customers these balances or these receivables has to be received, or has been received. So you can select this over here. You can see there is an option of select line. I clicked onto this and it has been selected over here. You can see now, and once it has been selected, now you can go and you can click onto the customer over here on the navigation. So once you click onto the customer, the profit center 1000, that is the common profit center, which receivable is 5.37 million, its breakup will be given to you in terms of customers. So as I click now, you can see there is only one customer, that is 100000, that is ABC Global, because this is the one customer which I have selected when I executed the report. So that is what has been reflected to you over here. And even if you want to see now within this customer, you can select again the customer, and again you can go and you can select the line items of that, or you can see the document numbers of these receivables. Suppose I click onto this, so you see these are the different customer document numbers, and these are the balances which has been received against these document number. So huge, it's a big report, it gives you a lot of things, and if you want to understand more and more out of it, you can further dig in it, and as more and more you dig into the report, you will find more and more interesting things. So it gives you the values or the informations or the collections and receivables as per different profit centers. And suppose now if this report I take off the customer account, and now I want to see the receivables only at the company code level, including all the customers for all. You can, even without selecting any of the customers, you can execute this report. Or otherwise, if you can leave this customer blank, you can even over here you can take the profit center. Suppose I assign the profit center as 1105, and I want to see the balances for this particular profit center. So you can execute this report over here. Okay, it says no hierarchy. Alright, so let's see the hierarchy at once. So these are the different hierarchies. We need to select the hierarchy. Suppose I select the unit 1 over here, and now I execute the report. So you can see now the report has been executed at the footnote. You can see the data has been selected so as to be read, and you can see the report over here. So for the unit 1, the receivables is 2.3 again, so it is around 23 million. And if you want to see the breakup, this is at the company code level. As you can see, if you want to see the breakup of this 23 million, you can select over here and you can click onto the customer. So it will give you the breakup of the receivables on the basis of the customers as over here on the screen. So these are the different customer codes been reflected on your screen with the customer name, and on the second column you can see the receivable balances or the amount has been reflected. We can go down, page down, you can see the different customer, and you can see at last the result, the total balance, that is $23 million. So this is how you can have these reports being executed, executed, analyzed, and you can dig more and more into it, and you will find more and more interesting facts of executing the report, which will be helpful to you in various layouts. And in case the report is helpful to you, in that case you can go and you can download those reports from over here. There is an option of export. As you can see, you can click on to export, and then you can select the file, save to file, and you can save these files in a spreadsheet or maybe in a different format like XXL. So this is one of the options of downloading the file or taking it in a separate sheet. The another way out to download the file over here is, as you can see, the export option over here, or you can click on to save to PC file. So once you click on to save to PC file, again it will take you to this over here, and you can select whether you want to take the file as text with tabs, rich text format or HTML format, and you can select and you can save the file on a system for further processing of data. So this is how this report has been executed, and is a very important report in today's time. Has been demanded most of the times by many clients for the breakup wise receivables, the profit center wise breakup of receivables. So this is about the profit center receivable reports. Now moving up to the next is similarly the profit center payables report, that is S underscore AC0 underscore 520000888. So this report again is very much similar to the receivables. In receivables, it is the receivable from customer. In payables, it will be the amount which has to be paid to the suppliers or the vendors. That's the basic difference. Apart from that, the report is pretty similar to the receivables. As we executed the report, enter, and now you can select the customer number, the vendor number if you have any, or you can execute for all the vendors in one go, and then you can select the date range as well over here. Suppose I want to execute it for a particular month, or maybe I just want to execute it for a fortnight. I can take it for a fortnight as well. You can take it for a day, you can take it for a week, you can take it for a year, or for 11 months or month to month. So it's up to you how you want to take up that particular report as. Moving down the controlling area, you need to put it as 1000 for mine respectively. You can put your controlling area, and then you can select your profit center. So suppose I select the profit center as common, that is 1050 now, or you can take it as 1000, the same common profit center. Now moving on and execute the report for all the vendors at the company code for profit center 1000, and you can see the data has been processed. So this is the report in front of you. These are the different ledger accounts, GL values, and these are the payable values. As you can see, 33.6 is the million is the advance to vendor. Then you can see the impress to employees, then advances others, employees, vendor, then sundry creditors. These are the different balances which had to be the balances which has been standing on the different ledger accounts. Some has been given in advanced, some most of our are actually having the debit balances over here on the screen. So this gives you the balances over here. Now within that particular, suppose I want to see that the sundry creditor report that has 76184 is the balance. I want to see to which creditor these balances stands out to. So you can select that particular sundry creditor ledger account, and you can click onto the vendors. And as I click onto the vendors, you will find a list of vendors to whom these balances are payable. So these are on your screen. 2009 is the vendor code. Ardor International, similarly 2016, Camidai Agencies, similarly a lot of different vendors you can see, 5057, Mahadev Transport Company. So a lot of different balances, vendor balances has been reflected to you. So similarly you can execute the report and you can see the balances. You can select the particular ledger account and you can click onto the vendors. It will give you the breakup of different vendors to whom the balances are payables, or maybe advances have been given to them. Similarly you can even take the profit centers, or even you can select those and you can click onto the document number on the navigation, and you get the breakup of those payables as per the transaction or the documents or the vouchers which has been posted into the system. So this is one of the another report of profit center, which is profit center payable report. Again very helpful to the the supplier department which has to make the different payments, and then they have to provide reports to the internal management that for which particular plant how much payment has been processed to which of the vendors. And to have those reports, these SAP reports work out to be very helpful. So moving up to the next report, that is the last report for profit center accounting, is profit center master data index, that is KE5X. So this report basically gives you the report, that is the master data details of profit center, how many profit centers are there, their description, their address, their different master data details, and who has created this, who is the responsible person, and a lot of such things. So if you want to execute this report, either you can assign the profit center from and to, or you can take the profit center group for which you want to see the master data. Suppose I take it as a group, entered. So you can see if I want to see the master data detail for the group, that is unit 1, so I selected unit 1 1010, and now I execute this report over here. So it gives you the different profit center details for that particular group, that is unit 1. So these different profit centers reflecting on your screen belongs to the unit 1 profit centers group. And you can see over here, as per the master data detail, the validity from and to has been reflected to you. Then the name, the person responsible, user responsible has not been assigned. And even if you want, there could be number of more fields which you can see from over here. You can go to this change layout, and as you click on to change layout, there are a number of more options which you can see. You can take those over here as so whatever the different fields you want, you can select those fields from there to on this other side, and you can see those details. You can see the hierarchy area which is known as the profit center groups. So this is the profit center group which we selected at the selection screen just a while back. And even you can see the different created on and created by details, that who has created this profit centers. These are the different user IDs by which the different profit center has been created in the SAP system. So similarly, this is one of the way out of looking the report as per profit center group. If you want, you can even go and keep these things blank and execute the report. In that case, it will reflect you all the profit centers the system has with it will be reflected to you. So you can see now these are the different profit center been reflected on your screen. So in this way, you can again go and select the details you need from over here, and you can again add on over here to it. So these are created on and entered by details been reflected to you. So this is how you can see the master data with the help of this. So these are the different reports which are very helpful in a day-to-day scenarios in an organization where the different reports need to be provided to your managers or to your senior or to the management, where these reports works very helpful to you. So this is profit center accounting reports. Now we'll be moving to the next, internal order reports. As on the screen, there are various internal order reports where we can make actual and planned comparisons in internal orders. You can have comparison of current period with the previous accumulated periods. Then you can have the plan and the actual period comparisons, and even the cost elements by internal order, and you can see how the costs have been booked to the various general ledger accounts. Even we'll see that there are reports on yearly comparisons on internal orders and even the quarterly comparisons. So a lot of various reports on internal order which are at times helpful for various reporting perspective and for various analysis purposes as well. So let's see one by one how these reports are being generated and what is the total display and how these reports have been displayed on the SAP system. So we'll be moving up with the first internal order report, that is orders actual plan variance. The transaction is on a screen, the report S underscore ALR underscore 870129993. So let's see how it been done in the SAP system. So taking up the transaction over here, the report, as you can see over here. Now enter, and you can see now this is coming up the screen which is known as the parameter or the front screen of the report. And the report, we need to put certain parameters, that is you need to assign your controlling area. So mine is 1000, if you could be something else, and that is what you need to assign it over here. The next is the fiscal year you have to assign for which you want to have the look of the reports, and then the period from and to, and then the plan version. So if you want to have the planning data as well, then you have to take the plan version, else you can click onto the F4 key on the keyboard and you can see there are a lot of different values on this, but in most cases we always take 0 because 0 is the actual versus plan data. So it shows you the actual versus plan data. So you can see over here for the controlling area 1000, the plan data is 0, and that is what we need to take over here. So these are the selection parameters which you need to take over here on the screen. We took the controlling area, the fiscal year, then the periods and the plan version. Now after that, if you have any specific internal order for which you want to see the actual plan variance, then in that case you can put the values over here, or if you have a spatial cost element specified for which you are looking for that, then you can assign the further optional selection groups or the parameters as well. If you want to see the various internal orders, you can go and you can click onto the search options on this, and it will give you the list of various internal orders within the controlling area 1000. So these are the various internal orders as you can see on the screen, and suppose I take few of them, like you can take any of them. Suppose I take it from this to, okay, again I have to look for, so I took it from and to 5 times 0 to 100100. So this is the range I am putting up for the internal orders. So I think you remember what internal order is all about and how we create an internal order, and all we have did in a separate internal order session in which we saw all the configuration steps and then the various transaction level, how internal order have been processed as well. So let's see, execute this report now, and we'll see the value has been reflected on the screen. So as you can see, the processing has been going on the footnote, and you can see over here the values have been reflected to you. You can see over here the report is for actual plan variance. The order groups have been assigned over here to you, been reflected to you. That is 15 times 0 till 100. This is the range from and to which has been reflected. And then within the range, it's been showing the various internal order values with respect to the cost elements. So this is how the report is generated, and you can see the actual values reflecting to you, and then the plan internal order values are there, and the variance has been reflected on the second last column, and the percentages of variance been also been reflected. So for consumption raw material, the variance is 12.74%. So similarly you can see for the others as well. And if you want to see on the right hand side, it will show you the various internal orders to you. So if you take this options over here, you expand this option over here on the right hand side, you will find the various internal orders on your screen. And if you want to see the value for one particular internal order, you can double click onto that internal order and that value is been reflected to you on the screen. So if I go for this first 100000, the first internal order, you can see on the left side the value has been reflected to you. So these are the various values. The plan value is very much same, that's why there is no variance at all. Similarly, you can go with other values as well, as over here the variance been reflected to you. So this is how you can have the internal order actual versus plan report. Now exiting the report. Do you want to exit the report? Yes. So this is how you can execute this report, and you can have the comparison of internal orders actual value with the plan value in the SAP system, and that will give you an idea of the variance, where the variance has been on the higher side, how the cost has been increased with respect to the internal order, and how you need to control those actuals against the plan, why they have been exceeding. So those things is a call which the internal management needs to take. So moving up to the next report is order current period versus accumulative. So for this, the second report is S underscore ALR underscore 870129994. So moving to the second report now, this will show you the comparison from the current period to the cumulative values. So again, on the selection parameter, you need to take the controlling area, fiscal year, period. So this will show you the current period only. Current period means whichever current period you take it as. If I take the one as the current period over here, then the plan version, and you can execute the report as executed. And you can see over here on the footnote, it will reflect you the values been read out. So you can see the values over here have been read. They are around records been read, and now the records are under processing. And again, the records have been read. Records are around 50,000, and these all records will be processed, and then it will show us the values on the report. So there are a huge list of internal orders been used by this particular company. That's why it's been reading a lot of data within the system. So now we can see the report over here. You can see over here the current period versus accumulative, and you can see the total plan value has been reflected to you over here on the screen. The actual current period is this, actual current year is this, then actual to previous year means the total accumulations have been reflected to you over here on the screen. Till date, the total used even in the previous year and the current year altogether has been reflected to you over here on the screen, and then in going ahead it will show you the total actual values. So there is no actual period values as of now on the screen which we can see over here, but this is how the report can be generated, and you can make comparisons of the current with the previous with the actual cumulative values, and you can have certain kind of a calculations on the basis of this. So this is for internal orders, and even if you want to see those particular internal order for a particular specific internal order, what is the values, you can click onto that and it will show you that particular values over here on the screen. So you can see now this is the internal order which has been used 4 times 01, and then the period is 1 and the fiscal year 2015, and the actual period been reflected to you. So if you go back and let's execute this for a previous period that will give you a more value to it. So you can see now I executed this for the fiscal year 2014, and you can see now over here the values have been coming up over here in the actual part, and there is no previous values, but the actual accumulated is the same as the current year period. So this is how you can execute your report, and you can have the current period internal order values being planned, actual posted, and then what is the total cumulated values till the current period will be reflected on one of the columns to you. And on the basis of that, you can have a comparison of out of the total cumulated value, how much of the value has been used in the internal order in the current period. So this is about making comparison of how much proportion of internal order value been used out of the total values. So now moving up to the next report is again the plan versus actual comparison. Again, this is the similar report which we have seen in the first internal order report. Let's see, in this part there is slight of a difference. It's similar, however, very much to the internal order actual and plan comparisons. So you can see over here no values have been reflected to you in this current period, because we took the current fiscal year 2015, which has got no values. But if we take 2014, you can see now the values have been reflected to you on the screen, and this shows a better report than the last one which we used, that 9.3. And over here you can see the internal orders on one side. In the earlier report which we saw the actual plan comparison, in that we get the cost elements, and along with that the values been reflected to you. But in this case you find the internal order on the right hand side, and with respect to the internal order the total actual values posted and the actual plan values has been reflected to you. Similarly, if you go down further with like any of the other of this, like syrup, you take it like 10047, it shows you that the actual is 112 and the plan is 178. So there is a variance of around 66,354, and the percentage variance is around 37%. So this is a better report which has been used in the internal reporting perspective for internal orders, which shows you the internal order actual values or actual cost been incurred on the internal order with respect to the plan values, and it shows you where the variances are less, and if the variances have been rising further to that, in that case steps need to be taken so as to revise the plan value or to look after to the actual cost on the internal orders. So this is another report. Moving up to the next now is cost element, again by orders. So you should know that an internal order is a cost object, and whatever the values which get posted in the internal order get posted with respect to a mediator called cost element, and without that cost element you cannot post any values to the cost to the internal order. So moving up to the next is cost element by order. The transaction or the report is S underscore ALR underscore 870-12997. So this is the report which we will be executing now. Let's see. Enter. So this is the report which has been executed first time. That's why it will take a couple of more seconds for compiling the report at the back end, and then it will present you on the foreground on the screen. So this is the report, as you can see, cost element by order. Now in this case again you need to take the selection values as controlling area, then the fiscal year, then period, from and to, and then the plan values, plan version, that is 0. Now we can take any internal order range, like I took it from and to, because there are a huge number of internal orders which will make the report very heavy. So better is to take few values and understand the report. So now we can execute the report over here as executed. So now you can see over here the different cost element has been reflected to you. These are the different cost element which has been used to post the values in the internal order 100000. So if you take up this is the internal order which has got this much of value, and the bifurcation of these values from where these came up is that this much came up from the consumption raw material, then 17786 you got from consumption packaging material, then you got from labor activity as 200, and then machine cost is 76. So sum up these all, it gives you the internal order value for 100000. Similar to that, whatever different internal order values been posted to you, this report gives you the bifurcation of that in a very simpler manner. So as you can see, whatever has been marked on the blue part, they are the breakups, and whatever has been marked in the yellow part, that is the total value of that. So even if you look after, these are the different breakups been reflected for each of these internal order. If you want, you can have the breakup of one particular internal order as well. Like suppose I take it as going back, and I want to see the breakup of one particular internal order. So you can take that particular internal order over here as well. Suppose I took this particular internal order and now executing it. So it will give you the breakup of that particular internal order, as you can see. So this internal order, which is known as methi powder, has the following components, the following cost elements, and in that you can see the consumption raw material has no actual values, but it has a plan value, whereas COGM has no plan and no actual. Labor activity cost has got 6.68, whereas the machine cost is 6.68. So making the total of these sum is 13.36, which is the actual value for this particular internal order, whereas the plan value is 11957.91. So this is how you can make the comparisons. You can have the breakup of that particular internal order, that where that particular total value has been used in breakup part in the as a part of the bifurcations, for a better understanding of the internal order, how things are moving in it. So this gives you a better view of the internal order with the bifurcations. That is the report for cost element by order, which we have just saw. So moving up to the next is internal order yearly comparisons. Now again, this is a very important report which has been used at the year-end activity part, where comparisons are made, that how much internal order, how much values have been used on a particular internal order or on a particular project from one fiscal year to the another fiscal year, and they want to see the comparisons, whether the value has increased or it has been decreased, by how much percentages, and all such things for various decision making. So looking forward to this report now. The report is S_ALR_870130001. So moving up to this report now, enter. So it gives you the actual comparisons from which two fiscal year you want to make the comparisons with. As you can see, the controlling area, then the fiscal year 1 and fiscal year 2, which we take up over here. And if you want to put certain internal orders to it, to which you want to see the comparisons with, you can have a specific internal order, or if you want, you can execute it for the whole controlling area. So executing it now. Now as you can see over here on the screen, that the cost element which belongs to the internal orders, has got these much actual cost for the fiscal year 2014, whereas for the fiscal year 2015 as of now no actual postings has been done. And among these two, whatever the differences been reflected to you on the difference column, and the total refers to the actual 2014 and actual 2015. So even if you want to see it for a particular internal order, you can go to the right hand side to the order group over here, and then you can expand it, and within that you can see the various internal orders been reflecting to you, and whichever you want to see you can click on to that and it will show you the breakup of that. So you can see over here the order group 100042, that is amla powder, and it shows you the cost elements which has been used for posting these costs, that is labor activity cost and machine cost. These are the two costs which has been involved, and that's been reflecting to you in the fiscal 2014, whereas for fiscal 2015 there is no value posted as of now, so the comparison difference has been reflecting to you. Similarly, you can look the same thing for all of the different other internal orders as well, and the values will be reflected to you over here. So it gives you the breakup of the values over here as well, that in the year this, what is the value being used in the different heads, different cost, what value been incurred, and then the same value is reflected to you on the another fiscal year, and then the differences and the variances has been calculated. So gives you a pretty fair amount of comparisons which helps in various decision making. Now moving up to the next is similar to that is now the next report, that is order quarterly comparisons. So just now we saw the yearly comparisons, and at the same time if you want you can make the quarterly comparisons of internal order as well. So if you want to see the quarterly comparisons, for that the report is the same one, just the last digit is instead of 1 is 2, that is S underscore ALR underscore 870130002. Now moving up to the report, enter. As you can see now, the report is about quarterly comparisons. So in this you will find the quarter comparison. Let's see how we will be going through that. You can take any internal order values in between so as to have better understanding. Executed the report. As you can see now, in this you will find the quarterly values, and you can make the comparisons of one quarter with the another quarter, and it will give you another quarter to quarter variances, quarter to quarter values, which will give you an idea of how much the cost has been used in internal order in the last quarter, and how much it has been used in the current quarter, and how the things have moved in the whole fiscal year in different quarters as well. So it gives you the comparisons on the basis of that. And if you want to see for a particular internal order, you can go to the right hand side, you can expand the list, and you can see that from the list of comparisons provided over here to it. So you can click on any of them and you can see the values to it. So it shows you the values of quarter to quarter internal order values been changing from one to another. So the internal order 100043 has got this much value 131708 in the quarter 1, but in the rest of the quarter no values has been posted. So if you will go for any of the live system, you will find the different values in the different quarters is been posted on a day-to-day basis, and at the end of each quarter you will find different values to them, and you can make those different values comparisons for that particular internal order. So this is how you can make internal order quarterly comparisons. Then similar, moving up to the next is planning overview. that is internal order planning overview part, that is KABL. So in that you can go for planning of internal order with the transaction KABL, and you want to assign any plan value to any of the internal order, you can do that over here. So suppose I take the internal order, one of the internal order over here, and I take the fiscal year as 2015, and I take the period from 1 to 12, and now I want to execute it. So let's see how you can assign your planning value to an internal order. So executing, now it contains no data at all. That means there is no planning data as of now, as you can see over here. So if you want to have a look of the different planning values of the internal order, you can go with KABL. And if you want to assign any planning value to an internal order, in that case you need to go back to the internal order training session we did, and in that we did internal order planning as well, how you can plan an internal order, how you can assign a planning value to an internal order, and then the comparison reports as we have seen right now. So to have an order planning overview, you have the report KABL that will show you the various internal order planning values. So this is what we just show for the fiscal year 2015, and let's see for 2014 if there is any planning values to it. So I now changing the fiscal year from 2015 to 2014, now executing the report. So again in this there is no value been found. Okay, so you can see there is only one internal order been assigned. Now let's move on to the another one with execute multiple. So in case of multiple, we can assign multiple values over here as well on the basis of the groups. So you can assign the group and you can have multiple values taken up in one go. So let's see if there is any internal order group to it. So there is no group as of now, so not needed. So this is how you can have a look of the internal order planning overview. Now moving up to the next is orders actual line items. So whenever in this part, whenever we post any transaction with respect to the internal order, it creates certain line items, and those line items are actual line items because we are posting the actual transaction in the SAP system. So how you can have a look of those actual transactions in the SAP system, that is what this report shows you all about. The report is KOB1 and the another one is KOB1N is the new report. So moving on to KOB1, you can take the internal order over here for which you want to see the cost line item, actual cost line items, and then you can take the posting date as well over here for which from when which date to which date you want to see. Suppose I want to see it for a fortnight, that in the internal order 100000, that is 1 5 times 0, what values have been posted to this internal orders. So let's see, executing. So as a selection parameter you need to take the order number and the posting date. As now executed, you can see the different values been reflected to you. So these are the breakup to it, the line items been reflected to you. This is the cost element with respect to this internal order. These are the different values being posted as a actual line item break part, which you can see over here, and same way you can go below. So in this particular internal order, the cost element, this 400300, has been used as consumption raw material for posting these different values. Similarly, for this particular internal order, the another cost element has been used, that is 400320, and if you click on any of these line items, it will take you to the original part from where these actual line item has been generated. So if I suppose click onto this, double click onto that, it take you to the another screen over here, and this is the actual screen. And if you go to this document info over here, you will find the FI document part, and within the FI there are two documents, as you can see, the accounting document and the controlling document. So if you double click onto the controlling document, it will show you the breakup. So this is it, what we are talking about. So you can check onto this. These are the different internal orders. These are the different internal orders which has been posted with these different values, and the cost element is over here on your screen, 400300, 400320. So two different cost element is used for posting the transaction to this particular internal order, and the different values are also been reflected along with the different quantities which has been used as on the screen. So this is how your actual line items report is been reflected to you. We can go back to the same report over here, and if you want to see the detail of this particular actual line item, you can double click onto it and it will take you to that original transaction from where this particular value been generated. So this is the internal order actual line items report, where you can see the actual details of that particular internal order value, from where this has been generated, what was the transaction and all. Now moving up to the last report on internal order, that is master data report. So if you create any internal order is a master data, and you want to see the master data details, that what is the name, who created this report, when was this been created, and if in case you want the whole list of different internal orders, you can have that with this particular transaction KOK5. So executing the report KOK5, enter. So you can see over here, these are the certain variables reflected to you. You can use the standard one. So now moving up to it, execute. Okay, enter. So you can see now this is how the value been reflected to you. Let's move back at once so as to give you more clarity on this. This is how I executed the transaction, and here you need to select the variant. So you can take this standard variant over here and then you can execute it. Enter on the screen. Okay, again enter, and now you will see that the value has been reflected to you over here on the screen. So these are the various internal order which has been created in the SAP system, and these are more than 500 internal order as on the screen. And if you look after to this, this is the internal order type, then the category, entered by is the user ID who created it, then created on, changed by, changed date, the description of the internal order, the company code, then the plant for which it has been created, if there is any business area or not, the controlling area. So a lot of details have been reflected to you over here, which have been filled when you create an internal order. So if you remember, when we create an internal order, even you fill the profit center within the internal order as well. So it shows you the internal order, the profit center as well, so as to have a better reporting perspective with respect to the profit center. So all these master data details have been reflected to you on the screen with respect to the internal order master data. So this is how you can have, and even if you want, you can download this in master data report, going to the order list on the header, export, and then you can click onto spreadsheet. And once you click onto the spreadsheet, it will take the data to the spreadsheet, and you can use it for further processing or further requirements of the organization with you. So this is how the internal order master data record has been taken up, and this is how the different internal order reports has been we have gone through, and this is how you need to go through all these internal audit reports, and many of them will be very helpful to you in the practical scenarios working in any organization. So we are done with the reports. We discussed in the last training session as well with the various reports of cost center accounting, cost element accounting, then activity type, and in today's we did the profit center accounting reports and then the internal audit reports, and we discussed very meaningful reports which have been used in most of the times in any SAP relevant organizations, and I hope this will help you a lot with respect to the practical scenarios you will be going through with. So this is all about the report. We'll see you in the next training session with a new topic. Till then, thank you.